As the border crisis continues, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Megan Rapinoe, and Meghan Markle are now stating, and they have the cupidity to do so, that women are somehow denigrated and underpaid in society, yet that is a duplicitous lie. And the transgender movement is now given a flag. My name is Anthony Gonzalez, and this is Constitutional Freedom.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Together, we will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you. God bless
President.
America.
You know, Joe Biden is, I think he's mentally declining. I think his luminary and his sagaciousness over a given interval of time is actually curtailing at a much more rapid pace than people's brains are usually melt, or in this sense, than people's intelligence would become more diluted. You know, as the border crisis continues and Jen Psaki and Joe Biden say that they're the most transparent administration that this country's ever had, and indubitably no one is debating that that's a outright subterfuge idea, right? It's fraudulent. They are actually the least most transparent administration this country's ever had when it comes to the border crisis and stopping Senator Ted Cruz from taking pictures of the execrable and the ignominy-like conditions that the illegal immigrants are in. When you take a look at the coyotes and the sex traffickers and what they're doing to children, you know, just recently, they went ahead and they just dropped a 3-year-old girl and a 5-year-old girl over a 14-foot fence. I think one of them broke their leg. It's unimpeachable with a 14-foot fence. And what does the Joe Biden administration do? They are in a state of solicitude. They deny everything. They say it's all disingenuous, that it's all collusive. Yet I would note during President Trump's administration, Joe Biden lied through his teeth. Everything that came out of his mouth was a Buddy Ness came out of inane, cogent-like, disingenuous statements. He was lying. He was saying that President Trump had kids in cages, and we heard kids in cages for 4 years, and now the media is actually silent about the border crisis occurring at our southern border. Now, indubitably, as society has gestated over a given interval of time, society in itself, in terms of society's intelligentsia and its panoply, the intelligence revolved around society has only cloistered from being amplified. it's isolated itself from actually growing. So instead of growing, the intelligence surrounding society and the opprobrium of society has just abated, right? It's only reduced in size and in intelligence and strength, and its influence has grown on several generations, such as my generation and other generations as well. Now, recently, Meghan Markle, and this was, I would say, 1 or 2 weeks ago, but I had the avarice to cover it because it's not just hysterical, but it's just fully futile. And this is an example of really the obloquy of society and how apoplectic one should be with society and try and sequester themselves from actually being or even trying to be influenced by society, because what would that lead to? That will lead to what is an abated form of any clarity, of any intelligence, of any realistic intelligence, in other words. So Meghan Markle went on Oprah and she started contemplating that she loves Prince Harry. Yes, she's only there for the money, everyone knows that. And then she goes ahead and this is hysterical. She has the covet to say that the royal family is racist because of her black ancestry. I would note, Meghan Markle's not black. It's an outright sophistry, and it's a Biden-esque amount of nonsense. She knows she's not black. She's just bringing that scenario because she identifies as black. Just like nowadays you can identify as whatever gender you want. The left says there are 3,000 genders. In reality, there's just 2. Now Meghan Markle, the princess or the Duke of Sussex, the princess of England, can go ahead and have the honor to identify as a black person in a very subterfuge manner while sitting in front of an actual black woman. Let's take a look at what Meghan Markle had to say about racism in England and the royal family. It's get ready to laugh.
There's a conversation with you
with Harry
about how dark your baby is going to be?
potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
The couple's hostile relationship with the tabloid media is well known.
We haven't created this monster machine around us.
But the Duchess complained she was left undefended by palace aides.
They weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband.
And ultimately contemplating suicide.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought.
Harry claimed his family is actually fearful of Britain's powerful tabloid newspapers.
With that relationship and that control and the fear by the UK tabloids, it's a toxic environment.
So that was Meghan Markle saying that everything in her life is racist, including, and basically the bunny nest portion of it is including the royal family. And she goes on as and throughout the video, she brings up the cogent that this is hysterical. She brings up the syllogism, right? Very imperious syllogism, that the royal family is very racist because the guards basically said extradited her attention from her and her family because her baby was black. And then, according to her baby's black. That is an outright sophistry. It's a lie on the face of it. She knows it. Prince Harry knows it. The royal family knows it. And I think the funniest part is throughout the video, she goes on and says that the main reason that she's apoplectic with the royal family and their racism, that she's really pissed off about the racism, she goes on and says that because they made her learn the British national anthem, then they're all racist. Because they made her learn a national anthem of the country in which she now has a Bunyan-esque physiognomy about, they're racist. And the left went on and they started complaining about this. They said, oh wow, but Meghan Markle, she's had such a difficult life. First of all, there's nothing infractious about her life. Okay, she's earning $29 million a week from the Queen of Elizabeth, from the Queen of England, $29 million. If that's having a difficult life, then my goodness, I have the most difficult life on the planet because I don't earn not even $1 million a week. So what exactly is so difficult about being escorted on chariots, being given your food privately, having your child have the most auspicious care in the country, okay? And yet they're acrimonious about it. Number one, Meghan Markle is a known privileged person. She grew up in a wealthy household. She became an actor, and then she went on, and because she was striking gold, she was looking for gold because, I mean, I think indubitably the only reason that she's with Prince Harry is because for fame, for popularity, and for an apotheosis of, again, popularity and familiarization in society. Okay. And then she starts complaining again. First of all, Prince Harry it's unimpeachable that Prince Harry is not black. Okay, she's not black either. She is more of a completely white person with a little bit of a tan, a little bit Hispanic and all that. But she's not black. I think everybody knows this. So she identifies as black in a very subterfuge manner. And she goes on and says that her child is black. And because he is black, the royal family turned away attention from her and her child. This is an outright sophistry, and she knows it. She's just trying to create a scenario, create a story, so she can get paid more money, because obviously $30 million a week is not enough money for her. It's really a devoid amount of money for her. So she decides to go out on Oprah while contemplating that she loves the royal family, but starts denigrating them on Oprah, a show that millions of people watch, and then starts saying that America is systemically racist, while talking to a African-American woman who earns $1 billion a year. Whether you agree with her political intelligentsia, Oprah's political sagaciousness, I indubitably do not. She is a black woman, and she is a very successful black woman, earning billions of dollars a year off of her show. And I mean, how is America systemically racist when you have black people having really a broad denying portion of success throughout the country? And then she's living here in Los Angeles in a $45 million home, again, while simultaneously contemplating that America is the most systemically racist country on earth. So is Meghan Markle racist? Prince Harry racist? Because they're living in a racist country according to their words and their clarity. Again, everyone knows that that's an outright charlatan and collusive excuse to just gain more popularity. Same thing with Megan Rapinoe when she spoke with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, saying that women are underpaid. And obviously this is a subterfuge. Just like a construction worker earns more money than a teacher, a man is going to earn more money than a woman, because according to statistics, okay, when it comes to the World Series in sports, because this is the syllogistic thing we're discussing, men in men's sports, whether that's baseball, basketball, soccer, or football, when it comes to the World Series or the NBA Finals, or when it comes to the World Cup or the Super Bowl, millions of more people watch those men play than they do in female sports with an analogous sport. Softball, women's basketball, or you have women's football or women's soccer. Okay, it's just an outright statistic. Men are more likely to attract more individuals to their arenas. Thereof, the stadium gets more money, the team gets more money, they get paid more. Women just don't have that much attention in sports yet. And then she's comparing herself, and I would know that she gets $30 million a year. And she's complaining about underpayment, while being a lesbian and being a woman in soccer, earning $30 million a year, while growing up privileged, having the best coaches because she grew up in a wealthy household, that analogous to Meghan Markle, and complaining about this. I mean, it doesn't get more pathetic, it doesn't get more execrable or more calamitous. You know, poor people aren't complaining ever, and then you have the most wealthy people in the world where they go with their syncretism, their amalgamation set of bumptiousness and their brusque ideologies, and they go out and complain. And the reason they do it is for nothing other than popularity. Let's go take a look at Megan Rapinoe complaining about her very difficult life and her very arduous life. Let's go.
Because I am a woman. And I've been told that I don't deserve any more than less because I am a woman. You see, despite all the wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do. For each trophy, of which there are many, and for each win, for each tie, and for each time that we play, it's less. And I know there are millions of people who are marginalized by gender in the world and experience the same thing in their jobs. And I know that there are people who experience even more, where the layers of discrimination continue to stack again.
So that was Megan Rapinoe, obviously, complaining that her life is extraordinarily arduous and it's onerous and it's very difficult. It's a very difficult life for her, but she extradites the reasoning behind it. She goes on to say that, as you saw in the video, that because she's a woman, she's underpaid. Okay. Her team, a professional soccer team, lost to a team of 11-year-old boys. Of 11-year-old boys. Now, how can you expect to be paid the same as men, who obviously, in terms of their sports, are probably experiencing much more injuries and are probably going through a much more convoluted set of games in terms of competition than you are, and then contemplate, even though you're earning, again, $30 million a year and grew up privileged, even though you're earning that amount of money, which is a really an accrued amount of money, how can you compare your sport to theirs that attracts tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people worldwide? Yours probably attracts 10 million in a dichotomy with 100 million. I think 100 million is far superior than 10 million. And because women's sports in itself has less money, right? It has a curtailed amount of money in a dichotomy between men's sports because they're institutions. They're not just sports. It's called business. It's called the business world, and it's called economics. If you raise more money for, say you're running for office and you raise more money for your campaign than your opponent, you may get elected at a much higher chance, and a much more bunny-nest percentage chance than your opponent. Whether your opponent's a man, a woman, whatever, a car, I don't care. But that's simple economics. It's a facile economic, what it's coaching. And what she's saying is obviously a charlatan, but I would also know that it's opprobrious and it's vitriolic in terms of the example it sets for young women around the world to just complain and then you get what you want. Work. Okay, in life you have to work. If you want to become a politician, you have to amplify your sagaciousness, you have to amplify your erudite, you have to amplify your intelligence on the Constitution, on the law, on court cases, and you have to do that for about a negative amount of time. Your mind has to be very parochial and very insular on it. If you don't work in life, you can't get anywhere. It's that facile. It's that simple. These women are going into society and they're setting a very, what is abysmal and very grievous example towards young women. Complain, and then you get what you want. No, that's not how life works. If you want to get paid higher, more money, do advertisements. I don't know, do campaigns, raise awareness. I don't know, go ahead and play more soccer or play more basketball. Okay, this idea that sex determines value, dude. I mean, you know how much money Demi Lovato has and all these female singers in society, and they have a lot of money. And you can compare them to construction workers. Hell, Demi Lovato earns more money than the President of the United States. She works less than the President of the United States. And there has not been a female president to this point. So what is this idea that somehow sex determines, by sex I mean gender, that somehow gender determines value, and that somehow gender determines how much you get paid? I mean, these are individuals like Megan Rapinoe and Meghan Markle who are indubitably lying through their teeth, and I mean, they're doing a great job, right? They're doing a great job at lying, and quite an auspicious job. And you know what? I applaud them for lying, right? But I mean, this idea that they're not gregarious with the amount of money they're earning, I think is bullcrap. I think it's really imperiousness and it's apotheosis. It's you know what it is? It's an apogee of nonsense, right? It's reached this climax of nonsense to the point where it actually makes no sense, and it extradites reasoning. It gives up on reasoning. And so, you know, the transgender movement, the LGBTQ movement has grown. It's amplified in size, and it's going to get more amplified. You know, a lot of people seem to think that conservatives somehow despise the LGBTQ community. I think that's an outright ignominy. I think it's an obstacle because, you know, God created everybody to be equal. God created everybody as human beings. Thereof, everyone has value, right? And the 10th Amendment of the United States says that laws that are not interpreted in the Constitution, they're not stated in the Constitution, are referred to the states because they're not in the Constitution. Thereof, the federal government cannot impose religious or ideological values and impose on all 50 states. That the states should be able to have their own decisions and conduct their own decisions based on the sectarian or the Brobdingnagian political party control. Okay, that's what the 10th Amendment states. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in the Constitution. Marriage and abortion are not two things stated in the Constitution. That's why Roe v. Wade, which upheld that abortion is legal, is thereof a very unconstitutional law. The people who said that it was constitutional are very brusque and I would say very mutinous individuals with no sagaciousness revolved around the Constitution. They have no omniscience revolved around it. And I would find it really, I think these are individuals who abnegate the reasoning because they favor the outcome of the court case. Marriage and abortion, I'll say in the Constitution, thereof, it should be the decision, it should be of the avarice of all 50 states to conduct a political debate on whether gay marriage should be legal or illegal, or whether abortion should be legal or illegal. I think I know where I stand on both of those. I think gay marriage in itself is something that, again, depends on the states, but I think abortion should be illegal in terms of certain cases. When it comes to rape and abortion, they become very arduous to denote in terms of fairness and doctrine. And you have to have a sense of doctrinaire, you have to have a sense of fairness in order to say whether or not, in these cases, abortion is legally or illegally justified or unjustified. So the 10th Amendment is what should take care of two of those very controversial issues. The Founding Fathers envisioned, they augured, they vaticinated one day very controversial issues must never be decided by the federal government because that would be imperiousness and it's apotheosis again, and it should be cloistered. It should be something prescinded. And so they added the 10th Amendment so that the states can conduct their political debates on certain controversial issues and then create a decision on it. But this idea that the transgender movement and the LGBTQ movement somehow should earn a flag and an entire month is ludicrous. Okay? That tells you a lot about the federal government and the federal government's cupidity for several things. I believe the military should have an inevitable celebration. That means that every single day of every single year, of every single generation, should be Veterans Day. It should be the day to celebrate our family, our heroes who really secured our freedom, secured our peace and our prosperity, because without them, and really putting a scorch to them when they went on D-Day, they augured that one might be their last. They fought the Nazis to secure our freedoms and to make sure that America would never become a socialist or communist country. And yet you have individuals whose only art is to complain for everything that they can't do in society and give up on everything because they're lazy, pathetic individuals earn a month instead of our heroes who abdicate their lives day to day. I think society has become really an ignominy, as I've said many times throughout this podcast, and I will continue saying it. But in life, you either work for things or you beg for things. But at the end of the day, work is what determines strength, it's what determines determination, and heroic actions is what determines value, is what determines whether or not we should celebrate you. Not laziness, not mutinous behavior, not bumptiousness, not arrogance. I believe that the federal government should sign legislation immediately taking down LGBTQ month and adding an entire year for Veterans Day. And so this has been Constitutional Freedom. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
With your help, we will take back the House, we will win the Senate, and then a Republican president will make a triumphant return to the White House. And I wonder who that will be. Who will that be?
Donald Trump.
Who will that be?
President Trump.
Who will that be?
Donald Trump.
Who will that be?
President Trump.
We have gone from America first to America last. Democrats are vicious. Remember this, it's true.
Who would have thought that within 33 days we'd be bombing the Middle East? You can French kiss the guy next to you, yelling abolish the police.
With your help, we will take back the House. We will win the Senate. And then a Republican president will make a triumphant return. Who